Hey friends, it's Jenny, and I'm getting ready to work on this week's Cherry on Top sketch layout. Now this is the weekly sketch that they've put out, and it's number 441, and it's due by midnight on August 27th. I don't know how well you can see the background, but there's a background. It does look like there's a border around it, and then the middle is kind of flooded with flowers. There are two photos, and there's some embellishments here, some wordy bits. We've got our title, embellishments here, kind of like a file tab and paper layer. So really pretty sketch. And I'm going to use the January Inspire Kit from Scrapbooking Fanatics. Now I never was able to use this kit that month because for some reason it didn't get to me on time. And some of the birthday pictures that I'm going to be doing will work really well with the purples in here. So what do I have? In the kit there were these Bow Bunny sparkling jewels, and sparkling jewels are always fun to use. So I've got those. There is the Lavender and Fairies embossed die cuts. Now the die cuts for Paper Rose Studio, you have to punch them out, but let me tell you, they're beautiful, and they have parts of them are, you know, kind of highlighted with like glossy accents or something, if you want to call it that. But this is so pretty, so pretty, so many usable items. I'm glad I'm finally digging into this kit. I will be making two layouts. This one is for the sketch challenge, and then I'll do one more to finish up her this set of birthday photos. So let's see, and then you've got this one. Aren't they the prettiest? And she has red hair, so there are several little red-haired fairies in here, so I'm happy about that, and we'll get to use those. So these are just precious, so I'm going to use that. I have these two photos. Now in the photos in the sketch, they're two different sizes, but this is what I've got. I got these two 3x4 photos. One of her in her beautiful blue eyes sitting in this little basket, and the other one standing here. The papers I'm going to use include this one, which is just Lavender and Fairies D. So they don't name their papers, they just give them letters. I've got this selected twice, I believe, yeah. And one side, I think, for the, if I want to get a tag or something out of here. So these are all tags, and the back is just that deep purple. I'm actually going to use this paper for my background. Based on the sketch, how it was kind of like all flowery in the background, I thought this would work well. So here we've got, you know, it's really just soft and pretty. I'm gonna, you know, put my photos here where it says to, and then embellish with some of our fairies and flowers and such. And I really think that this is kind of going to be doing the work for me. And this is paper C. The back of this is just a nice, would you call that a plaid, or is plaid multicolored? So would this be gingham? Would it be checks? I don't know. It all works. I've got this particular another plaid paper out. This has these big butterflies on here. This is Lavender and Fairies page F. I think I actually just took out one of each of the papers. This is the back of the cover sheet. Now the back of, you can cut out anything you want on here to use. You know, these would be beautiful icons to use should you want to. But the back of the paper rose sheets, they always have, or since I've been getting it, it's like a sheet of sayings. And I figure I can maybe get a title, subtitle, tiny words from here. So I've got this out. Here is another cut apart sheet. This is kind of like it's almost like the top of the cover sheet here. Then you've got, you know, additional images here. The back of this is a polka dot. And then here is that tag sheet again. Also in the kit for January. So this is an old kit, and I'm just going to play with it and share with you. I had kept it together with every intention of using it as a kit. So there are some flowers. So these I can take off their stems and use them should I want. There are some bigger flowers here. There are these flat flowers that you can, put a little button in the center of them. And there are buttons and some jute twine. So for embellishments, we got this little box, right? This little bag of flowers and buttons and twine. We got the Bow Bunny gems, which will definitely come in handy. And even those gems, if you didn't want to use them laid out the way they are in those sprays and stuff, you can always break them up. Just use them as enamel dots. Use them for centers of flowers, however you want to do. But I'm going to stick with the kit. I'm going to use what was sent in the Inspire kit. I'm going to get that layout done for the cherry on top sketch this week. I do have a rogue button. I will get it in a moment. And then I'm going to come back, show you what I created, and then I'm going to do another layout with the remaining pictures, and then we'll put this one away. I'll be back. Okay, friends, I have finished this week's cherry on top sketch layout. As mentioned, I am using the January 2025 Scrapbooking Fanatics Inspire Kit, which contained the Lavender and Fairies collection from Paper Rose. Here is the sketch. As a reminder, there were 2 photos. We've got, a cluster down here with the title. We've got some over here. There's a tab up here. There's some more words here. More cluster here. At the background, looks like it's got, a large band around, a large mat on the layout. So here you go. This is what I came up with. Now I did cut this paper so that I could mat the photos. I matted them on white and the purple. I cut, these are from the cover sheet here. I cut this from the tag sheet. The butterflies and the 2 cute little fairies are from the embossed embellishments. I cut this from the cover sheet, and the dragonflies and butterflies are also from the embossed ephemera. Now I cut the stems on these flowers. Let me see if I can move this one up a little bit. I cut the stems off of them, and then I put them on glue dots to secure them. Let's move you just a teeny tiny bit. Pop dots on a lot of it. What happened is I ended up moving my photo up a little bit because I just felt like there was way too much white space up here compared to down here. And now I find it more balanced. I did use the gems to give myself some little butterfly trails. So this is this week's cherry on top sketch layout. I love it. I'm glad I used the collection. I'm going to have a bonus layout here in a moment of another. It's obviously not going to be following the sketch, but it's going to be using this collection, and I'll put them both in this one video. Just to go ahead, like I said, I've got these remaining photos of her little birthday session wearing this little cute green dress with this purplish background. So I thought that worked really well with this. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you're playing along this week, and I'll be back in just a bit to show you the second layout. Okay, I completed the second layout using the January Scrapbooking Fanatics Inspire Kit using the Lavender and Fairies collection from Paper Rose Studio. And as I mentioned, I had just one more set of photos to document from her birthday photo shoot, and it just so happened to be these 3 photos. Again, it's got that nice lavender background, so I thought perfect for this collection. I used this piece of paper here. It had a block of flowers on the bottom, block of flowers on the top right, bottom left, and it was just stripes. So I took this piece of paper here and I cut a 4-inch strip, and I just did a banner with the butterflies. I did use this plaid on the back. I did not gut it. That has the large butterflies on the back. remember I have 2 of each paper. So this purple paper was the one I gutted in the first layout, and I just took a 1-inch strip and a 1-inch strip and looked like, you know, made it look like it spreads across the 2. Any embellishments you see here as far as, you know, the butterflies and the dragonflies and the fairies, they all come from the embossed ephemera kit. I've used the gems again for all of my butterfly tails. The cover sheet, I did cut out the happy birthday, you are amazing, sending lots of hugs, and I did banner those off. And then I did use some more of the flowers in the 2 corners of the photos. And I tucked in a little button on each one of those. So that will be the second layout. This completes her birthday photos. Most of them were done with the Simple Stories Pooh birthday. These were done with, I believe I might have done one with the 49 Market Lavender, and then the rest are with this Lavender and Fairies. I'm going to be putting Lavender and Fairies away, work with it some other time, but it's just going to go in with my paper rose stash for now. I like it. I think it came out so sweet. Just like I talked about before about, you know, these background papers are so hard to use for me. Doing those 49 Market layouts and then these 2, they just seem to work with my photos. It was like, great, I'll put my photos down and think about just where to put the pretty stuff, put all the jewelry, as Vicki Boutin likes to say. But I hope you like it. I thank you for watching. I do ask, please like, comment, subscribe. I'll be back. I'll see you in the next one. Take care and God bless. Bye.